On December 5, 1998, picketers placed ads on city buses critical of Scientology. Today's hearing concerns those ads.
Well, we go into this meeting today hoping for the transit board to make the correct decision, the right decision, and the fair decision to uphold the Constitution and to allow us to express our viewpoint about the Scientology organization.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good work.
Spirits raised by the support of a local bus driver, Frank and the team sign in for the meeting. Next to arrive is attorney Ken Dandar. Ken represents the Lisa McPherson estate in their civil suit. Today he'll be speaking on behalf of the critics. Right behind Ken comes the team of Scientologists. First up is Ben Shaw. The transit board told them they were putting together a panel to consider options, but suddenly they present a fully drafted measure to be voted on that day.
Source danger, causing riot disorder, threat to public safety, peace, or no.
Anyone that desires to speak to this issue, please step to the microphone. You have 3 minutes. If you are speaking for a group, I would also appreciate that we don't have a procession to the microphone of everybody saying the same thing over and over again.
Good morning. My name is Frank Oliver, and I represent FSSO, former Scientologists speaking out. I spoke to you all last month. Happy to see you again. I hope you received copies of a letter I drafted to Mr. Sweeney. I hope you had a chance to read through it, think about the things that I wrote there. I'll address you briefly this morning. I was a former member of Scientology. Within Scientology, there is no disagreement without dishonor.
Let me interrupt you there. We are discussing the issue of a resolution that has to do with advertising on public conveyances, i.e. buses.
If you'll permit me, sir,
subject.
that's
so
where I'm going. Absolutely.
I'll start your 3-minute clock over again. I hope your introduction, you recognize, will take the time that you wish to address the advertising issue.
My comments will be brief, and they are specific to the issue at hand. Where then can an opposing view be presented? Right now you have ads running on buses that have advertising for the Salvation Army. If you change your policy to accepting only commercial forms of advertising, you will effectively eliminate organizations like the Red Cross, the March of Dimes, the United Way, the Salvation Army, Planned Parenthood, etc. You will in effect suppress and deny the rights of these organizations as well, simply to appease Scientology. I'm sure these organizations and their supporters would be interested in your reasons for changing the regulations regarding advertising on buses. It would be unfortunate to if we were unable to resolve this issue without litigation. I read on what was written here that having an organization like ours advertise decreases the advertising revenue. I couldn't exactly follow what that meant. If anything, it should increase the advertising revenue. Bus ads are recognized as public forums throughout this country. I urge you to vote against your proposed change in your policy. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ken Dandar. I'm the attorney representing Mr. Oliver and the FSSO.
Mr. Dandar, let me repeat what I asked you for. I do not want to get into a reiteration of exactly what's been said.
No, I want to address the proposed resolution. The proposed resolution, and I understand Mr. Zimmett has followed the Christ Bride case, which is the Phoenix bus case, in attempting to now change your policy. But this does nothing for what happened back in December of 1998 when you were pressured by Scientology to remove these ads. But in this resolution, if you adopt it, you will only be accepting what is known as commercial advertising, meaning someone wants to sell something for an economic interest, meaning they want to get paid for it. Soap, things like that. But it gives too much discretion in reading this proposal in your executive director and in gateway advertising, and I want to direct your attention to paragraph number 3. Paragraph number 3 states, in the second sentence, the advertisements must contain only expressions related to the economic interest of the advertiser and its audience. that will never pass a court review. That is giving you too much discretion to now talk about what the ad is saying in promoting this commercial interest and trying to advertise something. You're now telling the advertiser or the company, you can't say this and you can't say that, but we're going to let you say this. You should strike that out. You understand that this resolution in the third paragraph prohibits non-commercial advertising. So, as Mr. Oliver said, the Red Cross or any other charity expressing a thank you for donations or anything like that, or asking for donations, would be prohibited. Finally, if you turn over to paragraph number 5, paragraph number 5 gives the executive director final and binding authority to determine what is a commercial ad and what is not. But even more troubling is the language in the last sentence of paragraph number 5, where it reads that the executive director shall make his determination based upon commonly used and understood English language definitions and inferences. That is language that has been repeatedly used by the Church of Scientology, and I'd like someone to tell me what input the Church of Scientology has had in this proposed resolution. And number 2...
I think you're out of line on that. I think you're challenging the integrity of the people that put this together, and I don't appreciate it.
I'll just ask him a question.
Okay. Inappropriate.
Number 2, it gives again the executive director too much discretion, which would never pass a court test case. You will spend abundance in taxpayer money by permitting this to be passed the way it is written. You must take away the discretion from the executive director. The Christ Bride, the Phoenix Bus Company case simply states, if it's a commercial ad, then it has to be placed on the bus. If it's non-commercial, and if you now adopt that, then you prohibit all non-commercial. But you cannot permit the executive director to have this double magnified discretion to determine what is the common meaning of words. We're going to get into Clinton speak. What is the word is? We're going to be going through all of that, and that will never pass a court test case.
Your time is about up. Please summarize.
In conclusion, I wish, if you're going to pass this resolution, to strike out the language that I just told you about in paragraph 3 and paragraph number 5. This executive director cannot have any type of discretion. If you're going to follow the case of the Phoenix Bus Company case, you have to eliminate discretion and permit any commercial advertising.
Do we have any board response? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Transit Authority and Mr. Sweeney. My name is Paul Johnson. I'm Tampa. I gave my address to the lady earlier. I represent the Church of Scientology and have been for many years. I did speak last time. I don't want to repeat what I said, and I will not repeat it. However, I have written a letter to Mr. Sweeney with a copy to Mr. Zimmett, setting out the results of my study of this matter, and the results of my study shows that what Mr. Zimmett proposed is in keeping with the law, particularly in keeping with the law as expressed by former Justice of the Supreme Court White in the transit case out in Phoenix. And to make this matter very short, what you have done, in my judgment, is a very definite statement of policy in keeping with the law of this country and keeping with the law as expressed by former Justice White. And I suggest and urge you to adopt it.
Seeing no further discussion on this issue, I would like to, we do have a motion and a second on the issue, and we have the maker of the motion, and which was Mr. Clark and Mr. Allen, seconding the motion. All in favor, in support of this resolution, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the motion passes unanimously.
It is regrettable that this issue will have to be settled through litigation. The Scientology organization chooses to once again use the law tool to suppress someone's rights. The Clearwater City Commission has voted to prohibit all forms of non-commercial advertising on the side of buses. It's regrettable that they're doing this because it means that litigation will be the only alternative to solve the problem, and the fact that they removed the advertising off of the buses. We'll see what the future holds for the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority and how the Church of Scientology is influencing their decision-making process.